Hi, and welcome to the third part of uFrame 1.5 Getting Started series. In this part, we will bring some interactive experience. We will make the coins and spikes interactive. Both of those objects are going to affect the gameplay, and we will handle coins using uFrame, but spikes are going to be just game objects without any view or view model. Coins are going to be represented as elements, but they will probably only show up in the level. So I will create a new element called coin and add a command to this one called pickup. Well, our character will pick up coins, so I will add a command for this one as well. And I will add a new int property, which will be coins collected. Finally, I need some sort of a control element to control all the instances and objects inside of my levels. So I will go to level system and create a new element called level root. It is going to control my coins, so I will create coins collection and link it to the coin element. Also, it's going to have a reference to the current character, so I will show character here and create a new property called player and link it to the character. Level root seems to be a good place to calculate and keep scores. So I will go inside of it and create a new computed property called score. I will set it to int, link it to the player, expand it, hit plus button and choose coins collected. So now this score property is dependent on the property of the child element called player. Now it's time to define some views. I'm going to add level root view, and here I will add create coins view binding, which will allow us to control coins views which are added or removed from the collection. Also, I will need score changed binding. For the coin, I'm going to add a view without any bindings. And we can save and compile now. Now we have three elements to work with. I'm first going to modify view models, then I'll modify controllers, and finally I will tweak the views. We're not going to modify any view models except level root because we added computed property for the level root, and we're going to specify how to calculate this one. And here, if my player is not set to an instance, I'm going to return 0. Else, I will return player dot coins collected. Now in the character controller, I'm going to handle pickup coin command, and I will increment coins collected property. Even though I got a command defined on my coin, I won't use coin controller to handle it. Instead, I will use level root controller and its initialize method. So when I initialize any level root, I want to take its coins property, and I want to select all the events where I add the coins. Then I'm going to select the first added item as a coin view model. And finally, I want to invoke a handler called coin added. When we got a coin added, I want to subscribe to its pickup command. Once this one is executed, I want to remove this coin from this level root. On the character avatar view, I'm going to override a method called bind. Inside of this, I'm going to use an extension method, this dot bind view trigger to d width. I'm using trigger on my coins, so this is exactly what I need. I have to specify an event type, which in my case is going to be enter. Then I'm going to specify a handler. What I get in the handler is coin view. And I have to tell it explicitly that I want it to trigger only with coin view. So from here I can execute pickup command on the coin, and then I can execute pickup command on the player itself. I will not modify coin view. However, in my level root view, I'm going to use coins removed handler to actually kill the view. Also, I will introduce a public property. This is going to be my score text. And in the score changed handler, I'm going to set the text to something sensible. Now we have to prepare the scene. I need to add coin view for each of my coins. Also, I have to put level root view somewhere. I'm going to put it on my main camera. And I will initialize the view model. There are three things we need to set here. First, it's score text. I got it here in the background. Next, I have to specify the player, since I have my player defined in the scene by default. I will just take my character and put it right here. And I can do it because character object has character view. Finally, in the bindings, in the coins section, I have to specify a container where I have all the coins. In my case, it's coins object. And I have to check scene first. So when the scene loads, my level root will take all the coins which are stored under this object. Once the scene is loaded, level root takes all the coins from this object and adds those to the collection. So that is why we got 13 coins in the collection. Now if we go and pick one up, you can see that it was removed from the collection and the view disappeared. Also on my character, coins collected got incremented. Implementing spikes is going to be pretty similar. I'm going to need three properties. Is alive, which is going to be bool. Is invulnerable, which is going to be bool too. And something like lives, which is going to be integer. I will also need a command called hit and a few bindings. For example, is alive and is invulnerable. And we can save and compile. Inside of character controller, I'm going to handle hit command. If my character is invulnerable, I'm going to just return. Else I will decrement lives and see if they are less or equal to 0. If so, I will set character is alive to false. Else, I will set it invulnerable for a few seconds, and then change it back. In the character avatar view, I will use those two bindings to create some sort of visual feedback. I will grab smooth follow script and the collider. And once my character is not alive anymore, I will rotate his body a bit, turn off the collider, and turn off the camera following. And I will do the opposite if my state is changed to alive. In the second binding, I'm going to take all the sprites from my art. Then, if I'm invulnerable, I'm going to set an interval here, which will invoke this handler every 100 milliseconds. And it's going to stop when my is invulnerable state is changed. And inside the handler, what I do is I turn on and off the sprites, creating some sort of blinking effect. If I'm not invulnerable, however, I will just set all my sprites to be enabled. Our final step is to set up collision between the character and the spikes. We have not expressed spikes as any kind of uFrame element, and we do not have a view, so we cannot use this .bind view collision with or view trigger 2D with. However, I got a script called spikes, which is completely empty, but it is attached to every single spike in my scene. That is why in the avatar view, I can use this .bind component collision 2D with spikes. I will specify collision event type and a handler. I'm not interested in the spikes, I just need to execute hit. Since we have some state which is managed manually, on our character we need to initialize view model and explicitly set it is alive to true and set lives to something like 3. Now we can collect coins, and also we have to be careful because once my lives will reach 0, I will die.